Today I'm going to be teaching you how to do lino printing. If you want to get straight into that, skip ahead a bit, I'm sure you'll find it. But at the start of the video, I'm just going to be hanging out with you for a little bit. We're going to go to the shop, get some supplies because I've got some of it, but not all of it. Let's go shopping. Also, for any of you that are new here, my name is Paulie, I'm a tattoo artist, and this channel is about all the different types of art that I make because I do loads of stuff. So at the moment, I've got ink, almost definite. It's a very specific type of ink, and the cutting blades, and maybe a piece of lino, but I can't remember. And yeah, I've got a problem with buying equipment, so that's what we're doing today. Dun, 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 dun. Nice. Couple of these. I am 99% sure I've got everything. What's happening? It's July. Although, to be fair, I found a load of my stuff, so we can get on with it. So what you're going to need if you're lino cutting is some lino block printing ink, lino cutter handle blades, a roller, and a tray for your ink. So what you need first is your lino. I go for the soft cut because it's a lot easier to use, a lot easier to cut. You can warm it up slightly, it makes it even easier. The grey stuff with the string on the back is like professional grade, and I've struggled with that, so that's not what I go with. I didn't realise I had all these in the bag. So basically what you do is you transfer an image onto here, reversed, and then you use your knives and you cut out all these little bits. Now you can do it a lot more precise, but I quite like having all the extra grain and texture. So you're going to have to imagine what these look like when they're reversed, but I'm going to show you a bunch that I've got. I'm going to cover that up because it's got a swear word on it and I don't want to get into trouble. Ah, I've got some more lino. There we go. I knew I had an extra piece lying around. Wait a minute. Nice. That's 4. That's it. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Oh my god, I've got lots. I've got so many. So I've been making these on and off for a few years now, right? Little pill bottle, gloves, bit of paper stuck to that, skulls, a hand, a camera, devil lady, I'm not going to say who that is, Nosferatu, a Grim Reaper, a Reaper, a lady, a clown, a wizard, a man, a moon face, Bride of Frankenstein, a skull, Frankenstein's monster, a ghoul, and a skull. That's a lot. First thing you're going to have to do is transfer your image onto the lino reversed, and I'll use the way that I did originally. So you're going to want to trace over the design that you want to go on the paper, the lino, like so. I find if you use like a softer lead, it's going to work a lot better. These are all the lines that I'm going to want. This is just a line work from a tattoo design that I did a little while ago. Make sure that you flip the image as well, because this one won't matter so much, because whether I carve it that way or that way doesn't make a difference. If you've got text or you want it to be a very specific way and you don't flip the image, it's not going to work. It's not going to work out. It's going to print backwards. And I've done this before. I've spent hours on linos that had text on it, and it wasn't until I printed the image and peeled it off that I realized I'd wasted hours and hours and hours. But it's made me more careful since then. With this method, what you want to do is attach the paper to the lino like so. Green tape. And then what you want to do is rub on this side with a pencil relatively firmly. I'm just going to check that's definitely going. There we go. And this is what we do. I mean, you don't have to do it over all of the blank parts, obviously, but you have to make sure you cover all of the lines. Fingers crossed, that's all applied. There we have it, very nice. So the only issue with this is this will rub off when you're trying to cut it. So what I always tend to do is I'll go over all of these lines. Nino. What I will do is I'll go over all of these lines with a permanent marker, just to make sure that they stay there. Because otherwise you're going to end up with graphite absolutely everywhere. Make sure you wash your hands after this part of the process. And yeah, so I'm going to go over that in pen, and you don't have to watch. So I'm not sure what sort of transition I'm going to do. What about this? Then that's such a transition, I guess. So gone over all of that with permanent marker, so I know where all the lines are going to be, and then I've added some shading in certain places as well. But that's basically going to be the stamp. And these are the different blades for different jobs. Some scoop out more, some are a bit more fine detailed. And an extra little trick is to stain the front of this with a different colour, because when you cut into this, everything inside it is the same colour, so you need to know where you've carved really. FW acrylics. Now I'm hoping this doesn't smudge off. I feel like that's going to dry very fast as well. And this is your starting point. So I'd suggest always being quite careful when you're doing this, because these are very sharp, and a few times I've gone into my own hand with them, which you do not want to do. So you hold the lino nice and steady. You remember I'm cutting around, I'm leaving the lines, so I'm cutting around them. So nice and slow. You'll naturally kind of build up your hand speed the more often you do it. When you want to get to a point like that, you kind of gradually lift out of the lino, and you can see staining it red has made it a lot easier to see where I have and where I haven't cut. Now I've done a lot of these in the past, so you just have to remember that when you start doing it, maybe get a few of them and spend a bunch of time just cutting some random shapes instead of going straight in with a design. But if you do go straight in with a design, remember that you might well mess the first couple of them up, but don't worry about it. You've got to get stuff wrong before you can get it right. That's what they say. So I've done most of it now. I've still got to get the teeth and these little bits here and here, figure out what to do with those. So yeah, with these I'm just bringing in points, because these are like shading bits. Follow the lines down like so. So when you're finished with your lino and you've got most of the details cut out, what I do is go around the edge with a larger tool to create a bit more space around it, because I'm going to cut the whole thing out instead of leaving it on the square rectangle. But if you want to leave it on here, make some kind of a frame, you know, feel free to experiment. Just being careful not to cut into the image, and also not to cut into your hand. So I'm going to put my drawing board down because I don't want to get paint all over my cutting board. And this is where you need your roller, your rubber, block printing ink, and this little tray, and some thin paper. Now this block printing ink is it's really thick, but makes for better prints. I just try not to get it on my hands too much. And then you want to roll the ink out. So if you don't want to get one of these trays, what I used to do is I just buy like a cheap picture frame that has glass in it, and I would use glass on the front. I don't know if you can hear how sticky that is. You just want to roll it till it's nice and even, not too thick. I might have used a little too much here. And then you want to roll it evenly. Now, because I've used black, it's a bit hard to see this going on, so I'm looking at it from an angle so the light shines off it, so I know exactly where is and isn't covered. Gently place the paper down on top of it. Rub it a little bit with your hand so it stays in place. And then apply pressure with your rubbing implement. You can buy presses that do this, and they are incredible, but they are also more expensive than something like this. Now, if you don't have one of these things, you can use the back of a wooden spoon. That's what I used to do. And now, the old peel and reveal. And that's it. That's how you do a lino print. Literally as simple as that. It's really satisfying, and you can make hundreds of prints from that if you wanted to as well. So, you know, win-win. So yeah, there we go, guys. There's a bit more of a close-up. I know the other shot might have been a little bit further away, but that's the lino, and then that's the print that comes off it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, drop a like below, and subscribe as well, because that's what we need to do. There you go, guys. There's your lino print. Lovely. And you know what? To help this channel grow, what I'm going to do is, if we can get 100 likes and 50 comments on this video, then I'm going to pick one person in the comments and send them a small set of lino making things, so they can make their own lino prints using this video. And somebody else, I'm going to send a bunch of lino prints as well, not just this one. I've got a few more that I can print off and make as well. So drop a like, drop a comment, and I'll see you later.